Okay, so welcome anybody that's joined so far, and if you're watching the recording post webinar, welcome. Thanks for joining. My name's Andrew Slack, the founder of MoreNiche, and I'm joined with Ricky, who's recently joined the team as head of traffic.
Hey guys, how are you? How's everybody doing?
Please, we're just going to give it a couple of minutes for everyone to filter in, but introduce yourselves on the chat, say hello. Any questions? We're going to do a Q&A towards the end of the session, so I'm going to just give a bit of a network update, some product updates, and then go through Q&A. So feel free to post your questions in the chat box. Ricky's going to be taking a note of those. And basically reading them out to me, and together we're going to answer those questions. So yeah, have a think, and let's say we'll give it another minute, and then we're going to get started. So yeah, nice to see you guys coming in. It will be recorded, so yeah, if you want to listen back anything you might have missed, or you want to re-listen to some of the answers to the questions, then we'll syndicate the recording afterwards. In the meantime, settle in, ask your questions in the chat box, and we'll read them out in due course. Okay, I'm going to get started. If people miss the start, they can rewatch it later. So yes, thanks for joining us, guys. I want to start doing these webinars every month. We did do them. I just looked back, and it was like literally a year ago we were doing these, and then things took over, the world took over. But I want to basically create these webinars every month. At the moment, I'm aiming towards the last Monday of each month, and they will include network updates, any brand updates, and give an opportunity for Q&A. So as I say, post your questions in the comments, and we'll get to those after the updates. So first things first, thank you very much for anyone that's provided feedback in the Facebook community, directly to the mentors. I want to reiterate that we really do appreciate everyone's feedback, both positive, but more importantly, any negative or constructive feedback is really important for us. So please do keep the feedback coming. It really does help us evolve and improve. Based on some of the feedback we've received, we've made a number of changes, or we're in the process of making a number of changes, and they're going to include things like a slight change to our ranking system. So we're actually going to do away with the sapphire, bronze, silver, gold, ruby type ranking thing that we have, and it's going to be replaced with a simple numeric ranking system, so that you guys can see exactly how you rank in the network in comparison to everybody else. All of the existing benefits are going to remain, and we're just working through that process now in terms of, okay, how does that play out from a development perspective? But we kind of feel like we've moved beyond that way of working, and it's just about adding as much value to you guys as possible. As a result of that, we're kind of decoupling the link between a mentor and a specific rank. So that means our mentors will be managing affiliates of different ranks, whichever affiliate and mentor feel they'll work best together. So if you do have a specific mentor that you've worked with in the past, or you'd like to work with in the future, please let either them or your existing mentor know, and we'll basically try and hook you guys up together. As a result of that, we are going to be doing some slight reshuffling. It more than likely won't affect you, but there's a chance that we may engage with you and look at passing you to a mentor that you've worked with previously. If you worked with somebody and built a relationship, then that's something that we're looking to do over the next few weeks, basically. again, based on the feedback that we received, we're looking at making a slight change to the number of affiliates that the mentors are managing. And we're basically focusing our affiliate mentors' time on affiliates that are generating sales within the network. And we're actually bringing in more resource to handle the newer affiliates who are just getting started. And of course, we have the Academy program to help with that also. So again, these are sort of things that are going to organically happen over the next few weeks. It probably won't affect most people here, but some changes behind the scenes to really help free up our mentors' time to get the most out of them and working with you guys more effectively. As a knock-on effect, we're also going to be consolidating our 4 Facebook groups into our one main affiliate lounge. Some of the feedback was that the lounge is a little bit stagnant. We're not getting, it doesn't appear that there's much support happening through that lounge. And it's possibly because there's support happening in the other Facebook groups. So we feel like by bringing all of those groups into one, we can create more excitement, more engagement, and get more support into that Facebook lounge. As I say, please, all positive and negative feedback is definitely reviewed and discussed internally. So anything you want to bring up either on this webinar or afterwards, then just get in touch because we really do appreciate the feedback. One comment is from our side is in terms of just the cost to the business of providing the affiliate support that we provide. Most networks don't do that, and our mentors do put in a lot of effort to support you guys, and I know a lot of people have mentioned that on the Facebook group in terms of they appreciate the support. So it's just really a thanks to the affiliate mentors and a heads up that if you are getting support that you appreciate, then let them know, because you know, it can be a challenging job, and you know, they love working with you guys, and just to spread the love, really. So in other news, we have about 15 people from MoreNiche, including some affiliates, heading to Traffic and Conversion Summit next week. Expect quite a lot of juicy, interesting topics and suggestions and advice to come from that event throughout the next month or so. So if anybody is in San Diego or around that area and fancies meeting up for a beer, please get in touch. We're going to be there from Sunday through to, I believe, Friday, Saturday. So pretty much a whole week next week in San Diego. If you fancy driving down, flying over, then yeah, let us know. We'll be there. Some SEO learnings that I've got to share, and SEO in general. The team here, Danny, Marek, they're working on a strategy to provide more support to our affiliates, and that will include webinars geared around SEO, one-to-one sessions where you guys can basically book calendar sessions with the guys where we can jump on calls and really do a deep dive into your websites, your personal situation that you may not want to share. And really the opportunity is just to open up our SEO team to help you guys and really get some specialist SEO knowledge. We have a lot of super smart affiliates in the SEO world. And we also have people that are just starting out. So it's great to have that spectrum there. General consensus at the moment in terms of SEO is the same that we've been talking about for quite some time, looking at quality over quantity. Certainly when it comes to link building and content, you're really taking a quality versus quantity approach. It's what we're advising. Safety first, think long term. Of course, everyone has their own strategies, and you know, this is just our network's kind of stance in terms of SEO. Think long term, and yeah, build value over time. Okay, I'm going to go on to some product updates. Again, before I do that, any questions, please post them in the chat. We're going to go on to Q&A after this. So product updates. Firstly, hopefully everyone is subscribed to the newsletter. If you're not getting our newsletters, then please let your mentor know so we can resubscribe you. Because we sent out an email earlier on today announcing that ViaSil, our new erectile dysfunction product, is available now network-wide. We're seeing some super results, conversion results on that brand, up to 6% conversion rate. We kind of did a bit of a soft launch with that brand and asked some affiliates to test it and trial it, and they've been running it for, I guess, about a month now, and we've been making ongoing improvements. We're still making lots of improvements, and there's actually a daily ViaSil call that happens between a number of people within our business to continually get feedback and make those improvements. So it's continually improving every single day. Please have a look at it, pick it up. If you do have any feedback, the guys would love to hear about it and feed those into those daily calls. And moving on from that, we have 2 new CBD brands that are going to be launched within, I guess, the next month or so. CBD Muscle, which is focused obviously at the muscle market and all about recovery and muscle recovery. And then a COA is our generic CBD brand. If you've got CBD traffic or you want to start marketing into that niche, then please speak to your mentor. They've got a lot of information on those brands, and we're super excited to launch those 2 products. Testogen, a little update on Testogen. Obviously, the new website went live, I guess, a month or 6 weeks ago. The data is showing quite a large conversion improvement. We've seen a lot of affiliates actually switching Testogen to their #1 recommended brand, and it's starting to establish quite a strong brand landscape. And of course, that naturally results in higher conversions for everybody. So if Testogen isn't your #1 brand, we'd love to hear from you as to why not, and work with you on making sure that you've got the information and the brand is performing how you feel it needs to perform to get those #1 slots. So please reach out to your mentor and have a conversation about Testogen. There's a lot happening there. Moving on from that is the Testogen Amazon pilot project. It is going extremely well. It's doing quite a number of sales through Amazon, and there is currently a backlog of sales which are basically due to be processed. I'm hoping it's going to be towards the end of this week or early next week when we're going to work through that backlog of sales. So if you're making a decent volume of Testogen sales, keep an eye out, because you're going to get a bunch more coming through as we start to automate the tracking through the Amazon sales process. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. My understanding is there are literally 200, 300, 400 sales that are going to be processed, if not more by the time we get there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The test is going well, and we're still waiting. We're going to evaluate that once it's ran for a period of time to see how it affects the brand overall conversions, affiliate payments. All of these things need to be factored in, and then we're going to evaluate that project as a whole and decide whether we roll that out onto other brands and basically put a plan in place to try and make sure that everyone within the network is getting the maximum value from those platforms. An update on the D-Bell reformulation. It's basically ready to go. We're currently selling down the remainder of the old stock, and there is a loose date of towards certainly in March. The 18th has been floated around, but we're not committing to that date. So sometime towards the end of March, we're basically going to be releasing the new product on the website, and obviously recently out to you guys. Get in touch with your mentors to learn more about the new formulation. It is really a good formula. One of the biggest pieces of constructive feedback we've had about Crazy Bulk is that they feel that the D-Bal formula could be improved. So we're really excited to relaunch this new and improved D-Bal formulation, which we think will make a big impact into the conversion rate of that product. And the formula is great. So if you want to get some sample products, again, speak to your mentor. So final thing on product updates is the muscle car competition that's been running for Crazy Bulk will be ending within the next week or two. Again, there's going to be a post-promotion learning evaluation to understand how successful that campaign was, and what we're going to do to take that competition forward. Whether we run another muscle car competition, whether we tweak it slightly, these are all the things that we're going to be evaluating from that campaign and basically feeding this back into you guys. The only other thing I want to mention before we open for questions is I mentioned it, I guess, a year ago after traffic conversion in March 2018. And this was the concept of automation and the tool MoreNiche. I want to reintroduce MoreNiche to you guys because I don't think many people have picked it up. And this tool integrates with Facebook. It's super cool because it allows you to put, effectively, it looks like a live chat widget on your website, but it's fully automated and you can do a lot of cool stuff in terms of prompting the user for questions. So for example, if they came to your bodybuilding website, the first thing you could ask is, do you want to bulk up or cut down? And you immediately segmented your audience in half, and you can start tailoring content based on the answers that they give, and it's fully automated. The other thing that you can do is, as they're engaging with you, you can automatically subscribe them to a subscription list within MoreNiche, so that every time you post some new content, you can syndicate it out to them, and it's fully integrated with Facebook. So for example, you subscribe them to your blog updates, and then every time you post a new article, you can share it out to everyone that's engaged with you through the chat widget. So it's a way of amplifying views, getting more people to return back to the website. You're going to see quite a huge uplift in returning visitor percentages, time on site, all of these things that Google are going to look at and think you're doing a great job getting people back to the site. So that's MoreNiche. Check it out. Any questions, let us know in that regard, because I think it's a tool that we can really leverage across the network. And that's pretty much it for my update. So I'm going to open the floor to questions.
Awesome. Thank you for the update, Andrew. So some of the questions are posted here. So Craig had a couple of questions. First question was, he'd love more help buying traffic, never had too much luck with it. So if that's something that you could address. And then the second part of his question was, do we have test results and lab results for before and after for the testosterone and estrogen levels and these type of products?
Good questions. Very good questions. So the first one first, paid traffic. Funnily enough, we're currently testing a number of things to do with paid traffic. We're looking at so let's take Google AdWords, for example. A number of our brands are currently we're not able to do AdWords on those brands because of the claims that the websites make. So what we're doing at the moment is trialing creating landing pages or secondary sites which can be AdWord compliant, and then allowing you guys to leverage those landing pages, those funnels, to drive some paid traffic through those campaigns. That's one of the things we're doing in terms of unlocking some new avenues for paid traffic. Ricky is working on trialing some different types of paid traffic campaigns. I know, for example, Ricky, you've been talking about things like push notifications, things like there's a lot of new technologies out there in terms of AI and how using smart targeting to really define audiences. So there's quite a lot of exciting things happening within the paid space. Yeah, Ricky, I don't know if you want to touch on some of the things that you've experienced historically and we're going to start looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we'll touch on are we're looking into the push notifications, which have worked quite well for the mail enhancement ED verticals. In addition to that, some of the things that we're looking at is opening up our offers for email traffic as well. So if you guys have a list for your website or blog, which talks about weight loss, ED, mail enhancement, brain, whatever. So I'm thinking early as next 1 to 2 weeks, that should be available to the affiliates to email. So if you have any questions about that, definitely feel free to reach out to me. And then the third and final part of that is we're looking to optimize some of our offers and pages for native and display traffic. So if that's a traffic type that you have experience in, then by all means, we should have that conversation going forward.
Yeah, and just to touch on, I've lost my train of thought. You're also looking into something else, email, push, paid. Nope, it's gone.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. Yep. Okay, so might circle back when I remember what I was about to say because it was quite important. But I'll answer your second question in regards to the test results for testosterone levels. Typically, we don't perform any studies on the products themselves. We tend to lead with the studies based on the ingredients in the products, and that's mainly just because of the cost. We've been through this process historically with some brands, and to get proper clinical studies, double-blind studies, which have any real integrity to them, you're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to pull those studies off. And the size of the brands at this moment in time, it doesn't justify that investment. That said, all of the ingredients that are put into the product are chosen for specific reasons. And what we do have is product sheets which explain the ingredients, why we've chosen the ingredients, and the studies that are linked to those ingredients. So certainly for Testogen, we have all of that information. So do reach out to your mentor and or contact us after this webinar to request that information because it's all readily available for you.
Super. So the next questions are from Paul. His first question is, will the CBD brand be worldwide or just US?
Perfect. Just come back to my previous thing because I remembered it. CPA. So one of the things that Ricky's doing at the moment is basically looking at setting up CPAs for all of our offers that are currently on RevShare, which, as we know, CPA typically pays a little bit higher up front, but then you don't get the residual income. But that may actually open up some new paid avenues and obviously CPA channels. So I just wanted to get that in there. And then going back to Paul's question, so yeah, CBD will be worldwide for sure. There are certain territories that there are potentially issues. So for example, CBD is currently not allowed in France. So the French market is a market that we won't be able to market to initially. But in terms of globally, it will be a global brand that we will attempt to ship worldwide, and So it's going to be UK. It's going to be all the territories that we're currently selling to. I know that, for example, the German market is extremely good market for CBD, but so are all the tier 1 territories, UK, Australia, Canada, America, obviously. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Super. So his second question was, is the theme choice crucial as long as it is fast?
Okay, good question. Generally not. Speed is the primary factor, and obviously the look and feel that represents the way in which you're setting out your marketing message. So depending on the approach you're taking, whether it's first person, third person, whether it's magazine style, personal blog, there are a number of different ways in which you can approach your blog and the way that you're marketing. And as long as the theme fits that style and you can work with it, some themes can be a bit painful to work with. So if you're used to a certain theme, again, as long as it's quick, from an SEO perspective, Google doesn't really pay much attention to the theme, in my experience. So yeah, just pick a theme that you like the look of. It's quick, it's responsive, obviously. 80% of our traffic is currently coming through mobile, so it certainly needs to be thought about mobile first when you're picking your themes. That's the general feedback I would have on theming.
Super. So our next question is from Sherry, who says, I am going through the video training for new affiliates. I do not have a website yet. I'm assuming that I should get a website until I complete the training. Is that accurate to say? And also, should I use a blog to help direct traffic to as a product at MoreNiche?
Yep, great question. Personally, I like to kind of work. I like to do as I learn. So for me, if I was to take the training, I know you mentioned the video training. The academy kind of covers everything from getting started, building a website, all the way through. So if you're really interested in video specifically, then it might not be so important. But for me, I kind of like to do as I learn. So as I'm working through the academy course, I'd be doing it alongside learning each module. So if there's one module on picking the perfect domain name, I would register my domain name at that point. Picking a theme, I'm picking a hosting, etc., etc. As I work through the academy, I'd be doing alongside. So I would definitely encourage that, even if it's not perfect first time around. It's fresh in the mind. You're going to be able to kind of apply what you're learning, and you'll probably come away with a greater, broader knowledge of what you just learned, rather than trying to learn and then go back and do. But I guess everyone's different. My suggestion would be trying to apply it as you're learning it, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn from those mistakes and probably evolve a bit quicker.
Awesome. Yeah, I would definitely just add, continue to develop a relationship with your mentors. And if you have any questions, reach out to them. They can definitely help you. And if they don't know the answer, they'll come to one of us and get that answer for you. Yeah,
and also the Facebook Lounge we're really hoping to get more engagement. So if you're coming across something you're unsure about, or you get stuck at a point, or you just got a question, post it in the Facebook Lounge, because there's a lot of top affiliates. Obviously, our team are in there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's often new people starting out. Often, it's so much information to take in, and there's so many different questions that come up. Don't be afraid to ask, because we were all at that stage at one point in our journey. We're all still learning, and just ask as many questions as you need to ask to get the answers.
Very good. The next question is from Lee, who asks, is pixel tracking still slow?
My understanding is that was fixed quite a while ago. I know when we first launched it, there was a lot of feedback that it was slowing down the websites. A lot of work went in to fix that issue, and I've not received any complaints lately. So my understanding is yes. Well, no, it's not still slow. That's been fixed, and yeah, give it a go. And I'd love to get your feedback if you think it is still slow. Obviously, we need to go back to looking at it, but my understanding is it's fixed. So please give it another go. The data's crazy. It's like an extra 6-7% conversion rate by having the pixel. So, you know, even if it slows it down by a small amount, you've just got to run the numbers and see, you know, do the trade-off, because at a sort of 7% increase in conversion, it really makes a big difference.
Great. Next question is from Rod Collins, who says, "Hi, Andrew. My question, your comment about quality content and links for SEO, this is fine, but how can new and intermediate affiliates work with this strategy and be successful when we see others applying the opposite and not following certain guidelines, which in a way is kind of misleading?"
Yeah, totally take that question on board. I will put out a caveat here. I'm no SEO expert. So we will get, as I say, Danny, our in-house guru, is going to set up some webinars and some one-to-one trainings. So you can definitely work with him on a one-to-one basis. I'm going to answer the question because you've taken the time to ask it, and I think it's a very good question. And I'm going to answer it based on the data that I have. And so we've been running a test pilot project for a while. Some of you will have remembered this from previous webinars, askmuscle.com. If you go to the website, you'll see that the content is really, really nice. A lot of effort is going on into creating that content. However, what we've experienced and what you'll all know already, so I'm just kind of telling you what you already know, is that creating lots of great content without any inbound links is almost pointless. There is no way you're going to rank content without any form of link building. So we've spent the last 6 months, well, we've not done it, we outsourced it. Somebody has spent the last 6 months producing quality content and put it onto that domain, and it's not achieving the results that we were expecting it to achieve because they're not building links alongside that. So that's one thing I'm going to mention, is that you need to have that strategy for both link building and content. That's super clear. And I will also say that the question also was asking about new and intermediate affiliates to work to that strategy. I think regardless of how established you are, quality is super important. So if you're just sending junk to a site, then you're opening up yourself to risk. And yes, if you've got a more established site, you can send less quality, we shouldn't say junk, less quality link building strategies will potentially work. I'm not going to say whether that's a short-term, medium-term, long-term strategy, but because of the because of the historic reputation that property has built up, potentially you can get away with a lesser quality. If you're starting out, it's even more important, in my opinion, that you're focusing on quality to build the domain authority. And then if you feel that you need to do more aggressive link building to compete, that's something that you need to look at and understand the pros and cons of doing. But yeah, quality over quantity is of course the direction that we're going in. If you want to be able to sleep at night, I'm not saying that there aren't other techniques, and of course there are, but as a network, it's our responsibility really to sort of try and preach the ideal way of building these things. we'll certainly share what's working for other people. But in terms of longevity, then yeah, quality over quantity is always going to win. I hope that answers the question. If you have like follow-up questions, then just post them, because it's a super interesting topic. It may go beyond my knowledge, and I may have to revert back to Danny on some of these things. But yeah, it is it's ever changing. Obviously, we know AI is starting potentially to creep into the algorithms, and that's only going to happen more and more. AI, guys, is a game changer, and we really need to start looking at that now, because it's going to start influencing how we obtain traffic. It's going to influence Google's algorithms, and it'll, to some extent, it's going to influence everything that happens online. The sooner you can start thinking about how AI is going to impact affiliate marketing and your content marketing strategies, the better, because it's coming and it's not that far away. And if you think about some of the latest updates that Google are doing and trying to, I'm not saying they've been great updates because they haven't, but if AI, or when AI gets as good as it's going to get, there's no way that the black hat techniques are going to work, because AI is getting smarter. So what I heard was, at the moment, the sort of human age of AI is about 4 to 5, and it's growing exponentially, which means by, I believe it's in 20 years' time, the human age of AI is going to be potentially hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And if you can get your head around that, which is a bit of a brain twister, you can understand that it's going to just completely change everything we do. Slightly off topic, sorry. Ricky,
cool.
You should.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the next question is from Suraj, and I can probably address this a little bit more. He asked, can we have a tutorial on how to promote more niche products through native ads? So that's not something that we've done till now, but I will put a manual together to help you guys on how to best use native ads to promote our offers. And so hopefully by our next meeting, I'll say next 3 to 4 weeks, look for something from us.
Awesome.
Okay, the next question was from a follow-up question from Carrot. They were asking, CBD is sold in France though, correct?
CBD apparently, because I've been speaking to our French guys, CBD is not legally allowed to be sold in France. This is my understanding. So I don't know whether we're going to be allowing it to be brought in France or not. We need to check on that. Speak to let me come back to you on that, Kira, because my understanding is it can't be. Whether we're going to allow orders to go through and see what happens or not, we need to find that out.
Great. We have a question from Basim. Is it important to have a HTTPS website? So I imagine a secure website.
Yes, for sure. And the reason I'm saying that is because there's no cost these days. You can get free SSL certificates from like Let's Encrypt. So why wouldn't you? Everyone's moving in that direction. So just do it. There's no reason not to, in my opinion.
All right, great. The next question is from Gasper, who asks, have a question about branded domain names. Will they still be allowed, those registered before 1/11/2018, or will they be disallowed after April 2019?
Good question. I remember we had quite intensive conversations about branded domains, as you can imagine. I don't actually recall what the final policy decision was. I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be you need to migrate your content away from branded domains. Speak to your mentor, because they're obviously dealing with this day in, day out. But chances are the answer is yes. We're going to be looking to discontinue those. And really, it's just in the interests of long-term affiliate marketing for yourselves more than anything else. So yeah, chat with your mentor, because that's quite an important thing to start thinking about sooner rather than later.
All right. The next question is a follow-up question from Sherry, who asks, you mentioned that you're working on developing certain landing pages. Is a landing page more preferable than a website? The website I'm referring to is the affiliate website, not the website from the product owner.
Yeah, so when I was talking about landing pages for paid traffic, I was referring to landing pages potentially on the product owner's site to allow us to drive traffic through there. To answer, it's a valid question in regards to landing pages versus, I guess, more like blog type websites. And it completely depends on where the traffic's coming from. So think about it like this. Landing pages can be super targeted. You can create as many landing pages as you want on your websites, and they're going to be super targeted to a specific type of traffic and a specific objective. Whereas your website, more generally, is going to be for lots of different purposes. So your website, mywebsite.com, is going to be getting traffic from lots of different places, from Google, from social, etc., etc. And so that's going to be very different to a specific landing page where you're driving traffic, a specific type of traffic, to that specific landing page that is you're looking to achieve a specific action. So for example, if you wanted to, let's say, sell FenQ, and you're able to drive traffic, I don't know, I'm going to try and think of an extreme example. So you've got traffic, mums that have just given birth in California, and so that's the traffic that you're targeting. You could create a very targeted landing page with copy, imagery, etc., focusing on mums in California that have just given birth and want to shift the baby weight. And of course, thank you is your recommended solution. And you can send paid traffic to that page, organic traffic. And so that's really the difference between a landing page, I believe, and a traditional sort of content page, really. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, great. We have a follow-up question from Carrot, and they ask, is that the soft pixel you were talking about?
Yeah, so it was Lee's question, is the pixel slow? And yeah, it's a soft pixel. So Kirit, maybe you know the answer to that question. If you do, post it away. Because yeah, we did put some effort into fixing it. It'd be great to know on this call whether we did fix it or not. So do let us know if the soft pixel is still slow.
All right. And the final question thus far that we have is by Rogerio, who says, I am a new affiliate at MoreNiche. I am currently working on my blog about CBD and hemp oil. Is it a hard product to advertise, for example, in Facebook? Is MoreNiche going to guide us in terms of advertisement when the product will be launched?
Cool. Good question. Okay, so I'm going to tackle this more broadly. And I'm going to say most products that we have in our network are classified as gray or borderline products. The reason being is that people are looking for them online, and you can't just walk into the high street and buy a lot of the products that we sell. So by their very nature, often advertising these types of products on Facebook, in Google AdWords, is more complicated because they have a close connection to health, beauty, and these sorts of things. So naturally, they're going to be harder to promote. That said, you're one step removed from that process, and it's ultimately based on the content that you put up, the adverts that you put up, the way in which you're trying to build that audience. So, for example, if you want to promote CBD muscle, and all you do is put an advert about CBD muscle and the claims that go along with that, chances are that's not going to really fly with Facebook. However, if you had a longer term strategy where you're building, say, a community, a Facebook group community on the benefits of CBD, or you have a blog which is generic CBD information, then there's a lot of advertising you can do to start building the community, building the funnel. And you remember I mentioned ManyChat, which can help with that process in terms of boarding people into subscription mailing lists. You can do email collection points. There's a lot of pre-sales funnel work that you can definitely do to build up a community on Facebook and other advertising platforms. And then you do the sale after the fact. So, for example, you could put together an ebook about CBD, the benefits of CBD, and you can market the ebook. And as part of that process, you collect in their email address. Inside the ebook, you're going to be promoting products. And after that fact, you're going to be creating mailings and starting to monetize that data. So to answer the question, most of our products, it's not wise to just try and advertise the product directly. It's wise to start building value in your own brands and your own assets and monetize after the fact. Ricky, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think you more or less covered all the points there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we have a follow-up, well, not a follow-up, we have a question from Nadeem who asks, apart from Google AdWords, could you recommend any other paid traffic platforms?
Google AdWords, yeah. Ricky, do you want to take that?
Sure. So, yeah, I was just kind of asking what kind of traffic are you referring to? And I think he wanted pay-per-click. So, you know, you have your Bing, and then you have some of the other native networks such as Taboola, Outbrain, MGID, Rev Content, which are more native in display, which could potentially do well. But, you know, I think I'd like a little bit more information from you in terms of how you're looking to promote and what you're looking to promote, then I can probably give you some more targeted platforms.
Yeah, so one thing we've been testing are adult networks. And so for things like Mail Extra and ViaSale, they actually convert really, really well because the traffic is so cheap. So things like Juicy Ads and a number of the adult networks for male enhancement, erectile dysfunction, there's a lot of traffic out there. So that might be something to consider.
Yeah, there's ExoClick, Traffic Junkie, are two of the other ones. And one of the other ones that has historically worked well is members area traffic for other products and dating type of offers. So that's something you should look into as well.
Yeah, so just a note, I've just noticed here, Kirit has said, yeah, he's not had any problems. Sites are fast as, smiley face. So Lee, yeah, it seems like those issues have been put to bed.
Cool. Yeah, no more questions in the chat. So if anyone has any questions, this would be a time to speak up.
See, Kirit's asked a question about CBD for animals. So yeah, basically, for now we're just focusing on human beings. So we're going to have the two CBD products. We've got the CBD muscle, which is for muscle recovery and for that niche. And we've got a very strong generic CBD brand, which will be for more like pain relief, stress relief, all of the other benefits of CBD. So we have the two brands that are going to work alongside each other. I know the pet market is huge and growing, but it's just not. We've just scraped the surface of our existing market, so there's a long way to go there. Personally, I love the concept of doing stuff in the pet niche, but it's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, I think that's more or less it for questions in the chat. Actually, there's another one from Rod. Are these brands released, or when will they be released?
Yeah, so the CBD brands are going to be coming towards, I think, mid to the end of March. But information is already available. In fact, I actually think if you go to askmuscle.com, no, askmuscle.com, cbdmuscle.com, let's have a look. Yeah, okay. So the website's up with a coming soon message where you can subscribe for updates. I know the website's pretty much built, so that'll come sooner than COA, which is also being built at the moment. So we're not far away at all. So definitely start working on your CBD content. Speak to your affiliate mentors to get the latest information about those brands because they're not far away.
I think that's it on the questions.
I think we're done with the questions. So as I say, we're going to be doing these every month. So obviously, I don't want you to wait a month to ask any questions. Jump into the Facebook group, ask your mentors directly. Ricky's just posted his email address. You should have mine, but I'm going to send mine in there also because it's super important that you feel like we're approachable. And if you need anything, just reach out. In fact, I don't even know, Ricky, if you're on the Meet the Team page on MoreNiche.com yet.
Yeah, I don't think so yet.
So we should be adding you guys in there. But go to Meet the Team page. My details are there. All of our mentors' details are there. Our email address, our phone number, our LinkedIn. You really shouldn't struggle to get in touch with us. If you are, post something in Facebook. I have pretty much anyone can contact me on my phone or our email, and I know we're all very accessible. So get in touch if you need anything. Any questions that you think of, always the way. As soon as we finish, you're like, oh damn, I forgot. I just thought of a question. So post them in the Facebook group because we're trying to build that community and get more Q&A in there. And as I say, we're going to be doing this every month. Ricky, anything you want to add that we've not spoke about that you think is important?
Yeah, a couple of things. One thing, I'd love to get feedback from all of you that are on this chat in terms of the format or what you're looking for, some additional things you would like for us to cover that didn't get covered this time, but we can definitely address in some of the upcoming webinars that we're going to be hosting. So that I'd love that feedback from you guys. And then secondly, if there are certain verticals, so one of the other verticals that we're looking to get into is keto diet. So if that's something that you guys have an interest in or have traffic for, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to get your feedback on it, pick your brains, and see if that's something that we can help you make some money in as well. So on my side, and then I guess thirdly, which you addressed earlier, Andrew, was CPA offers. I'd like to find out who or which of you have experience with that and would be interested in promoting that with MoreNiche also, because that's obviously something new for us, but I think it's something that has a lot of potential.
Yeah, perfect. A couple of other things that just come to mind. The second tier program, we're looking at building into the network a way of you guys being able to refer other affiliates. That could be quite cool for people that have built up a network of other affiliates they want to refer. It's still very early stages, so it's just a heads up that you might want to think about that. And then earlier on today, I received a really cool email, which was basically a video, a personalized video of somebody that wants to meet up with us at Traffic and Conversion next week. So it was basically an email that had the link to the video, and it was had my name, and he just came on and said, "Hey, Andrew, I'm at Traffic and Conversion next week. I know you're going. I've been speaking with Sanders in your team. It'd be great if we could just grab a coffee." Now, I get emails all the time from people spamming to say, and you guys do, especially when you're outreaching and people outreaching to you. But what impressed me was this just cut straight through the spam and came straight into my inbox, and I opened it because it was like, wow, okay, this person's taken the time to create a personalized video. And I opened it, I listened to it, and I responded to it. So for guys that are doing outreach, I would 1000% recommend trying this. There's a really good Chrome plugin that allows you to do it, which is called basically Screen and Webcam Recorder Vidyard Go Video. In fact, I'm going to just...
Yeah, I just included the link in the chat.
Perfect. So that basically allows you to record quickly videos through your webcam, and it automatically sticks it online so that you can just copy it and put it into your emails. Super, super cool tool to do video outreach, and I guarantee you'll get a much better response. And we're really encouraging our affiliate mentors to start getting more video content together. Yeah, check it out. I was really impressed with the way that it kind of just, it was different. You know, there's always the famous story about sending handwritten letters and these kind of things. And this really did sort of slice through the spam. So well worth trying. Okay, guys, I think that's it. There's no more questions. So thanks for your time. And we look forward to welcoming you on the next webinar in about 3 to 4 weeks' time.
Have a good day, everyone. Take care.
Bye.